Well, good deals are still out there. But wait, there's more.
This is pretty much the worst video ever made.
Napoleon, like anyone can even know that.
Hello my friends, and welcome to Tom's Tinkering and Adventures. Today we're going to be working on this 1986, I'll double check, but I'm pretty sure that's correct, 1986 Kawasaki Concours ZG1000. And I had one of these many years ago. A friend of mine and I swapped bikes one time, and ever since then he really wanted one. And you know, I don't think he ever told me that, but I don't know, about 3 years ago or so, I located one and fixed it up a little bit, and we were able to make a deal with the owner of that one, and he got it. Anyway, he really likes it, and we located this one, I don't know, maybe about 150 miles north of here, Santa Barbara, California, for $250. This is a old man bike. Old man owned it, maybe older than me. But anyway, it's got a lot of goodies on it, and it came with a trailer for $250. Let's take a quick look at it, and then we'll see if we can't get this thing going. If you don't know what a Kawasaki Concours is, it's spelled Concours, but I believe you pronounce it Concours. This is a 1000cc shaft drive sport touring bike. Engine is kind of derived off the old 1980s ZX10. Very budget-minded sports touring bike. They're kind of like a cult classic bike, like the KLR 650. Kawasaki seems to have those kind of bikes. It does a lot of things pretty good. It doesn't do anything excellent. You know, old school suspension, brakes are okay, suspension is okay, engine is okay, shaft drive. But it's very comfortable. You have a large tank, nice fairing, lots of protection, and you have these easily detachable hard saddlebags. Let me see if I can get these off with one hand. Right, they got a little lever right there, and then you pull them up and back a little bit. There you go. Those come off, and you can even take these off with a couple bolts, and there's little covers that fit over there, which who knows if they came with this one or not, but I think 99% of the time when I had one of these, I just left the bags on because they're very convenient. This one actually has a Corbin seat. That's pretty cool. I was hoping there'd be like $100 bill in there or something. And this thing is set up with all the good old man accoutrements here. We've got some kind of a old school communications deal, which I'm thinking that might be what all this stuff is all about. And I see we have a toggle switch there, and I don't know what there. We've got the throttle lock here, completely yellowed. Oh, you can kind of see my hand through it until I take it a foot away. Yellowed windscreen, corrosion. There's a couple of lights down there, old school. I don't know what they are. HID? Nah, probably not even. We got old tires, some kind of an antenna. This I think is for that communication deal here. And we have a trailer hitch. And I've seen there's wiring right here for it. This one's been sitting in the dirt, so I'll clean that off a little. We'll plug it in and see if the lights work on this thing. Some old weather check tires, Changshin. I don't even think you can get those anymore. Fair amount of space in here. And came with a bunch of stuff here. Some old helmets, which probably aren't really that good. You know, you could use them for a ride around the blocks. Better than no helmet at all. And I believe this is some heated, and there, yeah, some heated gear. Old school heated gear, but we'll plug it in and see if it works. Better than not at all. And I don't know what else oh, hey, look, we have a set of mercury carb sinks. If there's still mercury in it, we'll see. And some spare parts for the bike maybe here. Yeah, and some other goodies. Anyway, the curiosity got the better of me already, and I took the old battery out, put a new battery in it, or my used battery, and we do have power, and we do have cranking, so that's good. So I'm going to check the oil. I'm going to pull the seat off, which is just operated with the key switch over here. The tank was also a little bit frozen up, but I got that to open after squirting some spray in there, and then I hit this with a rubber mallet and got it to break free. There's some rust in this tank, so we'll take that off. And you know, what the heck, let's just put some fuel in the carbs. Maybe, you know, I said this was owned by an older gentleman who appears to have had some knowledge of motorcycles with all the goodies that he put on here. Maybe he ran the carburetors dry when he let this thing sit. It had been sitting for about 8 to 10 years. All right, here's the grand scheme of things. We got the tank off. I have the air box open. I have my Happy Carb Spray. I have my auxiliary tank hooked up to the dry fuel line here. It cracked right off. And we'll spray some juice in there. I freed the choke up. The choke wasn't working, but I got that freed up. It appears to be working. So I'll put the choke on, I'll spray some stuff in there, and we'll see what happens. It was also about almost a quart low on oil. Who knows why? We'll get healthy with this stuff here. We got 4 cylinders, so there we go. That's pretty good. I think it's just running on the carburetor, though. I don't think we're running on fuel. We'll try one more time. Chances are pretty good we're all clogged up in there, I would imagine. With that though, that's more than I expected. Well, it's always fun to try, so we did that. And now we got to pull these carburetors out. If you've never taken out a set of 4 carburetors out of a old sportish bike like this, it is a lot of fun, let me tell you. So we're going to try, and especially an older one, because this rubber is probably hard as a rock. So we got to loosen up every clamp basically on here. On the back of these, they don't really have a clamp, they have these spring deals. And I'm sure this rubber, like I said, oh god, it's ridiculous. Anyway, I'm gonna get started on that. This is kind of a PG-13 channel, so I'm probably not going to show a lot of it because I will probably be cursing. But you know, you got to disconnect the choke cable, the throttle cables, get all those things loose. Some heat is pretty good, so if you have a heat gun or a hair dryer, try to put that on the rubber to heat it up. A lot of times these air boxes, you can move them back just a tiny little bit. So unbolt it. You see we got like a 1/4 of an inch, 1/2 an inch maybe, and that's going to make all the difference in the world. So I'm gonna get started on that. We'll get those off, and once I do that, I'll disconnect this trailer, push this out, blow everything out here. We're all covered in dust and dirt, and oh man, all these wires are making me crazy. They're out. It wasn't too terrible. I've done this a couple times though, so I know what I'm up to, and I'm up to no good. But anyway, I'll pop a couple bowls off of here, and should be smoking a couple bowls or something. Jeez. Anyway, don't do drugs, kids. I'll get open up a couple of these and show you what they look like. The fact that it even kind of attempted to run when we were spraying fuel into there is a testament to these vehicles, because it's pretty nasty. I don't know if any fuel actually got in there. This looks like it might be all the old stuff, but who knows. I'll open them all up, pull all the jets out, pull the needles, float. Oh yeah, these floats ain't even moving. Well, maybe that one is. Nope, it's not. So yeah, we weren't getting any fuel in there. But I'll get this all cleaned up. If you want to see videos of this kind of thing, working on carburetors, you can search on my channel, carburetor. There's probably 100 videos. I might be exaggerating, but I've done this a few times. Making progress here. This is very slow, but you can see that. This one I just opened up and took the pieces out. The needle there and the float needle is stuck. This one probably the same. Yep, haven't taken that one out yet. There's the float bowls as you see them. And there's the stuff after I clean it up. So we're making progress, but we have a lot to go. Well, at least half. So onward and upward. Well, this ain't been easy. These carbs have been a real pain in the butt, and I got them installed. I haven't got the air box all the way on because if there's a problem, we can take it off easier. Got the fuel coming down here. Mess of stuff to step over. Ugh, I hate it. Let's see what happens though. Choke is on, fuel is on. Wants to go. Okay, it's alive. She's idling okay. Blowing a little bit of smoke stuff out of here, but I don't know. Maybe it's running rich, maybe it's running off oil, maybe it's burning oil. I don't know. We don't know much about the history, but sitting here idling nicely. Well, it's been a long day. Dark outside, but we got the carbs in here. I got the air box mostly installed. I got a little bit of messing around to do, but still got to mess with the fuel tank. So we're messing with this, but yeah, I could probably turn the idle down a little bit. There you go. I bumped it up when I started it, but it runs pretty good. Got some interesting items here. We got a bolt gauge right there, and this is some sort of a bolt gauge as well. But I did a lot of behind the scenes stuff here. I removed this exhaust recirculation system or whatever. I just I cut off some bolts and put it in these rubber hoses and got rid of all the emission stuff. So I need to get some vacuum caps. I just put some screws in these for now. But I think that's it pretty much for today. I did actually already take it up and down the street. Still has a little bit of work to do here. We got a big rusty spot there on the back. Brake. So I was just taking it up and down my my street and riding the brakes a little bit, trying to clean them off because the front is also dragging. But I think we will tackle the fuel tank next, so we have basically a complete bike, and then we'll go from there. Okay, today we're going to try to tackle some of this here. See the rusty stuff in there? It's not terrible, but it's not great either. So I'm just going to fill this thing up with vinegar. I've got a video on my channel. I'll try to link it on here, but if I don't, then you can just search on my channel for probably just vinegar will bring it up. But you fill the tank with vinegar, and let it sit for a couple days. Maybe 1 day is all this one will need. Been soaking the tank with some vinegar inside of it for a while. I don't know how well you can see in there, but it's definitely a lot cleaner, but it looks like there's still more to go. Let me get my shadow out of the way. I rinsed it with water. You can see the chunks in there. Go on this side here and try to get the shadows out of it. That's the rinse with the water. Let me bring you over here to the vinegar. You see all the chunks of rust floating in there. So I'm going to strain this out, and then we're going to move on. I'll strain that out, put that in there a little bit longer. It's been soaking actually probably almost a week now, but I've been traveling off and on, so I haven't had a good chance to clean this thing as well as I wanted to. But the next thing we're going to work on is this fuel valve, and this is going to be the only money I've spent so far on this thing. This thing leaks, and these things are notorious failures on these bikes. They fail open, and then the fuel flows through here and it hydrolocks the engine. So I bought a rebuild kit for that. So I'll rebuild that, keep working on that tank. It's pretty close to done, but it's gonna need a little bit more work before I feel safe filling it full of fuel. Here's the rebuild kit I bought. K&L, they make a lot of this sort of stuff, and fork seals, that sort of thing. Oh hey, check out my stickers my buddy made me here. There you go. If you comment and want one of these, I'll see what I can do for you. Now what usually fails on these things is, let me open the package and show you. 2 items. And it's going to be this guy and that guy right there. And they're both underneath this cover. I've already loosened the screws. And I already replaced the O-ring with just a generic one that I had. It didn't stop the leaking. So we'll try this kit. You can buy a replacement petcock if you'd like. There's the O-ring right there. And there's that piece. And this one's cracked. See it? And it's hard as a rock. It's not pliable. I'm still filling this tank up with vinegar, rinsing it out with water, so I'm not going to clean this thing completely yet. And maybe I just should have bought a replacement because I can't get this screen off. It's kind of like stuck in here. Maybe I'll soak it. Don't tell the wife, but maybe I'll heat up some water on the stove and boil this thing out. But it's not leaking around this O-ring, so I'm just going to leave the one that I put on there. We'll leave it. It's got a little spring washer here, so we'll try this. If it still leaks, I'll replace that O-ring, and I'll also go through and I'll replace this diaphragm in here. That's what shuts the fuel off when the bike is stopped. Very important. Like I said, these things will fail in the open position. Fuel will flow into the carburetors, and even though your float needles are supposed to stop fuel from coming in, all it takes is a little piece of debris in there. And seeing how this tank is, we know that there's rust in it. I'm going to try to get as much of it out, or all of it out, hopefully. But if for whatever reason you got a little piece of debris in the float needles, then carburetors will fill up with gas. It'll flow into the engine. If you have an open intake valve, flow into the piston, and when you hit the starter, you have a pretty decent chance of hydrolocking your engine and causing catastrophic damage. So there's lots of things people do. They'll replace these petcock with a 100% manual one, which will solve the problem as long as you are extremely vigilant about shutting it off and turning it on every time. Now, I tried to, but it doesn't always happen, so I'll put that new one on there. I'm going to clean this up a little bit. I'm going to have to take it apart again anyway, but you can see how nasty that one was. For now, I think I've got about 90% of the rust out. We're going to try to get 99%. There's still going to be some in there. There's not much we can do. We're going to count on this filter. I have an inline filter as well. And we'll check it after we run a tank of gas through it. Okay, it's been a few more days. I did some traveling. I was in Las Vegas and I had a good time. Tank's been soaking. I cleaned it out, rinsed it about a bazillion times. I feel pretty confident I got the majority of the rust out. I don't know as if I got all of it, but it looks pretty good in there. I put some alcohol in there to absorb the water, put the heat gun in, dried it out, put my mixture of oil and gas in there, sloshed it around, and now I have about a gallon of fuel in there. Everything is hooked up. All the lights work. Left turn, right turn, headlight, high beam, low beam, tail light, everything works. I don't know anything about all the auxiliary stuff, but the majority of that I think is going to come off of here, but I'm leaving it on for now. Yeah, I don't know what all this stuff does. Some of it's probably for this communication system that came with the helmets. Some of that stuff's in here, and there's an antenna here, so who knows exactly what that stuff is, but it's all pretty old tech. Anyway, I'm wearing shorts now. I have a pair of pants. I'm going to push this thing out. I'm going to ride it up and down the street a few times, get it warm. I'm going to come back and I'm going to put the trailer on it, and then I'll put the GoPro on, and I'll take you for a ride towing the trailer for the very first time that I have ever towed a trailer with a motorcycle. Okay, here we go. First go around, I already put about 3 miles on the bike. The trailer's following behind nicely. I don't really even notice that it's there, so that's pretty good. Okay, left turn. I got a few things in the trailer, a couple old helmets and stuff that came with the bike. I don't have the top latched, but hopefully it doesn't pop open. Lose all that stuff. Let's see what we can do. Hello. Well, I took it nice and easy, but it didn't seem like it was too much trouble. There she is in all her glory. Trailer, motorcycle, $275 grand total. $250 for the bike and the trailer, $25 for the fuel petcock rebuild kit. Of course, you know, I use supplies from the house, that sort of stuff, but we're not going to count that. We're going to try to make this a low bucks touring bike here. See if I can't get it all done for about $1,000. We have leaky front forks. We have old tires. Needs to have like a full service oil change. Probably new brake pads would not be a bad idea. I already flushed all the fluids. New tires on the trailer. Strip all the electronic stuff off of here. Everything works except for the fuel gauge. I noticed that was messed up when I was cleaning the tank. I tried to fix it, couldn't. I think I can get one for pretty cheap. We'll see. But I'm gonna try to be about $1,000 all in on this thing, and see if we can't take it somewhere. All right, if you're liking my content, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider doing so. Thank you very much for watching. Get out there and find your adventure. Adios.